we're all here to learn to love and accept ourselves and then give that love to others. So here's another quote from A Return to Love that you might like and you've probably heard. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. So I really like that quote from Marianne Williamson. So I'm going to guide you through this heart exercise, which is a way to help you listen to your inner voice, for you to be guided by your intuition. How many feel that they have a strong sense of intuition and listen to their intuition? Yeah, good. Because a lot of us hear that voice and then we don't know whether to believe it or not. So I'll take you through this heart exercise, and this is not my work, this is the work of Maston Kip, but I think it's great. So what we'll do, depending on it, there will be a point in the exercise where you may answer a different way, so just pick up with me when we get to the very end, okay? So what I'll get you to do for this exercise is I'll get everyone to close their eyes and just centering, actually putting both of your hands over your heart. And just breathing into your heart space. And then I'm going to make a statement, and then I want you to repeat that statement, and then the answer that comes. You can just say your answer in your head. If you want to say it out loud, you can, that's fine too. Bless you. And so just closing your eyes, settling into your breath, just taking a deep breath in. And repeating after me, heart, show me where you are. So heart, show me where you are. And just notice, if you notice sensation or color or a word. And you may not notice anything, and that's fine too. And then asking your heart, will you ever lie to me? Yes or no? So heart, will you ever lie to me? Yes or no? And listen to that answer that comes up. And heart, will you always tell me the truth? Yes or no? So heart, will you always tell me the truth? Yes or no? And heart, have I always followed you? Yes or no? So heart, have I always followed you? Yes or no? And for those that may have answered no, just ask your heart, how do you feel when you hear, I haven't always followed you? So heart, how do you feel when you hear, I haven't always followed you? And just listen to your heart talk to you about how it feels. And then you can ask your heart, why do you feel that way? So heart, why do you feel that way? And listen to the heart as it tries to talk to you. Then you can ask your heart, can you forgive me for not always following you? Heart, can you forgive me for not always following you? Yes or no? Yes or no? And listen to the answer. And heart, can you help me forgive myself for not always following you? Heart, can you help me forgive myself for not always following you? Yes or no? And lastly, heart, is it possible that you are God or grace or my intuition dwelling within? Heart, is it possible that you are God or grace or my intuition dwelling within? Yes or no? And that's it. You can open your eye. So what I'd like you to do is build on this voice from your heart. with little things, okay? Brown rice or quinoa, okay? Blue pants or black pants. These shoes or those shoes. Then you can build up. How I learned to trust my intuition was and I don't know many people that do this nowadays, but actually, sorry, before I say that, I'll just finish this part exercise. So a great quote, I think it's driving me nuts, this in and out. Anyways, a great quote by Joseph Campbell is, "The heart must usher the mind into the zone of revelation." Right? So what does that mean? That means we must lead our lives from a heart-centered place. Use the mind to do the to-do list that the heart set in place, but we tend to do things the opposite way, right? We're analytical, we're pros and cons, we're coming up with lists, and that's all the mind. But if you're going to follow your heart, you got to direct it. You got to direct the mind, because otherwise the mind's going to just take over. The ego's going to take over, and I'm not saying the ego's bad. It's not all bad, but it's just it's something to pay attention to. I guess I'll just put it that way. Another quote that I love by Joseph Campbell that really resonates with me because of my experiences is, "The psychotic drowns in the same water the mystic swims." So what that means to me is, and this is what we do, we put people who have psychosis, especially bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, on lots of drugs, lots of meds, because we don't know how to deal in our society with the fringes. We don't know how to deal with mania and suicide. So let's just compress everybody and keep them in this little narrow zone so that, psychotic drowns in the same water the mystic swims. So how I learned to trust my intuition. So an exercise that you can do, not many people do these, I think, nowadays because everyone's so scheduled, but go somewhere here in town that you've never been with no plans, no agenda, no goal. Now you can set an intention if you like, and then allow yourself to be guided. Left or right, straight or back, in or out. Just let your intuition guide you. See what happens. Make an experiment of it. Have fun with it. That's one way I learned to trust my intuition. Nothing bad happened. So, I think the most important thing is, are we listening? And what voice are we listening to? And what I really want you to understand is, when you're stuck in fear, you're listening to the ego. And so if you can shift into that heart space a little bit more, and I know it's not easy, believe me. I know it's hard sometimes. It is. But you're just bumping up against yourself every step of the way. That's all. So I will scroll through and see if there's anything else I wanted to say. I guess what I will say is just responsible language. This was another important piece to understand. So in Gestalt psychotherapy, there's two words that, that's one of the types of training I have, is Gestalt psychotherapy. So two words that I want you to be mindful of and maybe try to shift in your language from now on, is the word can't and the word should. So the word can't is a very disempowering word, and it leaves us feeling like we're a victim, like we have no choice. And so the replacement word is I will, I won't, or I need. And the word should is also a very disempowering word, and it's often somebody else's belief. So I should keep my house clean. I should cook dinner, a healthy meal for my son every night. So what you want to do is you just want to ask, where is that should coming from? Whose voice is that really in your head? And then ask yourself, okay, do I want this? Take it or leave it. We're going to chuck it. Am I going to keep it? Am I going to adopt this belief as a guiding principle in my life? Or am I going to chuck it and replace it with something else? Okay? Because you can replace all these beliefs. Okay? And remember, whenever you say you want something, Like, say you want to leave your job, but you don't want to face the fear of getting rejected looking for a new one. Or you say you want to lose 20 pounds, but you don't get off the couch. Or you say you want to write a book like me, but you're afraid for people to know you have bipolar disorder. There's a sabotaging belief at play, okay, or a shadow belief, or an unconscious commitment. And I take patients through a coaching program, which I've given you some information on it in that little sheet there, if you got it when you came in. And there's a few ways to work with me if you want. I am taking patients one-on-one, but it's a wait of about 3-4 months. And so what I've done is I've created this 10-week coaching program, which is online. You can either do it with me every week and I'll be there, or you can, which would be about a savings of about $3,000, because if you were to come see me every week, it'd be a lot more expensive. Or you can do option 2, I believe, is just the same course, but only 2 live calls with me. And then the last option is just the course, no live calls with me. So the prices that you see on that last flap in your brochure, they're all 50, like half of what you see there. So 50% off of that. But what you have to do is you have to fill it out and bring it to me by Sunday. So no pressure. But just if you want to do that, you don't have to do it right this second, but you can think about it. And so that's there for you. And then there's the books that are there if you want to check those out. And then there's another, I do at the end of that 10-week course I offer a mental health masterclass. I just taught it last weekend. And there I go more into this shadow work and core beliefs and a little bit more deeper dive into you. So that's there for you. And or if you know somebody, if you leave here today and you know someone, say, because 1 in 4, right, has mental illness. So if you know someone, then pass this to them and they can get the coupon code. So that I just want people to get the help they need, and this is one way to do it. So anybody, and we have a booth, so if you want to stop by and chat, we're around the corner over there, and I think across from the main stage, and we're out there somewhere. And if anyone has any questions, but I think, I don't want to keep you from the next thing. So thank you so much for coming. Anybody want to ask a question?
When you're talking about the 2 words, should and can,
yes.
You kind of had some replacement words
yes.
for can. Is there replacement words for should?
Same. I will, I won't, and I need. Thank you. And you know what? I didn't finish my list of responsible language. I stopped there. Do you want me to finish the list? We got a minute. Okay, the other one is, so I can't, so can't and should. And then it's not my fault. So a lot of times we say it's not my fault, which the replacement is I am totally responsible. It's an interesting story. I had a boyfriend. I had one boyfriend. My dad used to look at his watch and say, 35 and no prospects yet? What's happening to you? Anyways, so this one boyfriend I had, he was doing his PhD and now he's a professor at UBC, but he said to me, you know what? When you start working, just take responsibility. Because what drove him nuts, or his boss nuts in the lab, was somebody would spill, say, this beaker, and everyone would point fingers. Nobody would take ownership. And so Eric, he would just say, oh, it was me. Just to get this guy off of his blame, he just take the blame, take the hit, just so that they can move on with the day. So I just learned to take responsibility. And when my team, they made a mistake, this is when I was working in the corporate world, I took the blame always as the head of that department. They never took the blame. So anyways, the next one is, it's a problem. What do you think you want to replace it's a problem with? Yeah, it's an opportunity. I'm never satisfied would be replaced with, I want to learn and grow. Life's a struggle. Okay, isn't that the premise of Buddhism? Life's a struggle. right? So, I mean, we start here and there's nowhere to go but up. But life's a struggle, replace it with life's an adventure. Life's an adventure. I hope we're going to replace that with I know. If only is replaced with next time. And what will I do? What will I do is replaced with I know I will handle it. I'm going to add one to here. This is from Feel the Fear and Do It Anyways, straight from her book. But I just thought of one as I was talking and now it left me, so it's okay. So that's that. Yeah, so if you want these slides, which you didn't get to see anyway, so you don't really know if you need them because you didn't really see what you were missing. But if you do want them, I'm happy to send them out. Just send me, go to the website, there's a contact thing, just like I said, just fire an email off. Yeah, thanks for saying that. At the booth.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's on chapters Beyond the Label or Amazon. I know a lot of people don't like Amazon, but and it's going to be at Audrey's bookstore, but not yet. Yeah, it's just in a couple more weeks. But it's here at the booth. I have 3 books, I should say too. I have one called The Essential Diet: Eating for Mental Health. I have a journal called, I'm glad to see some journals here. That just makes me, I'm on a mission to get people to journal. So I have a journal that's called Moving Beyond, a journal into self-inquiry or self-discovery. And then Beyond the Label, which I ask people to journal in Beyond the Label. So that's why I created a journal. But you don't, if you buy all 3 books, I think it's $40 special this weekend, or they're the individual prices. So I'd love you to share it with somebody because I put a lot of work into this, my heart and soul, and I just don't want to sit in my garage. So yeah, thanks for asking. Yeah. Oh no. Okay. Anybody else have a question? No? Okay. Well, I'm around all weekend, so you'll get sick of me. Thanks for coming. Okay.
Weekend class. Is that's separate from this?
Yes.
And that is the next class is when?
I haven't said that I just finished, so it'll probably be in the spring, February, probably March. Yeah. Yeah. And you can just do that as a standalone too.
Right.
Yeah. So if you're interested, let me know and I'll let you know when it is. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks everybody. Enjoy Bloom.